What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about how to build your MUT team very, very smart while spending the least amount of MUT coins as possible. A lot of the things that I do here, some of you guys understand it. Some of you guys are like, yo, why is this guy always raid selling people? Well, we have to be able to evaluate talent on a case-to-case basis. When new cards are dropped, you have to figure it out and assess it and just say to yourself, all right, which one of these cards are going to make me better? That's pretty much what you're doing. And in doing that, your team will always pretty much stay up to date and be formidable against any team that you play. So what do I mean by that? Pretty much Marcus Peters with the new flashback program, he's a decent corner. And when I say decent, he has really, really good man coverage. He meets the threshold with the power up of 90. And I can take a chance now and get rid of a current player that's on my team. So I have to evaluate it because I have two budget players. I have Trey Waynes and I have AJ Terrell. All right. Now, when you look at the cards, pretty much they're, almost identical with the exception of the fact that AJ Terrell is 6'1". So what does that mean? He's a bigger player, which means that he has that same 90 speed, but he has more of an advantage because he's taller. So he's going to move around differently. He's going to get different animations, and a lot of things are just going to change because of that fact that he's able to be that 1 inch taller. Plus his archetype, like I'm just talking about his build, not like his zone archetype, but like the way he's built in the game. He's a little bit bigger as far as height, so he can go up and get those things. All right. When you look at the zone coverage and you see the the discrepancy with the man coverage, and Trey Waynes is a better man coverage corner, that won't really matter because we're gonna get rid of Trey Waynes. You see what I'm saying? Because I've already evaluated. I already see 89 excel, 90 speed, 6'1", 84 agility. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, pretty much after that, I don't really care about as far as budget cards, because they're both 90 speed, so we have to figure out which one really does more. And in my opinion, you guys watch the live streams on Twitch, Trey Waynes is always getting dealt with accordingly. All right, and he has better man coverage than AJ Terrell, which doesn't theoretically make any sense, but it is what it is. That's why we need to get rid of him. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna raid sell Trey Waynes. Okay, and this is what you should always do. This is a very, very interesting way to make sure that you're not overspending. Do not keep cards that you know what I'm saying? Like, after you start to see that a card is just outright doing whatever he wants, you have to now make a decision. Okay, you have to be able to say to yourself, all right, this dude is garbage, right? So we got to get rid of him because he's going to cost us games. Trey Waynes, for some reason, I don't know what his problem is, but he just, like, a dude does a simple move, not even like a double move. He just gets routed. All right, and I've noticed it over and over again, and I have to be smart, and I have to figure out, okay, this guy is somebody that's always doing something weird. We have to get rid of him because it's necessary. So always remember, you got to always take away everything off of the card before you sell it, else it will not be auctionable. So we'll go ahead and take off those, those +5s with the training. We'll go back to the screen. We'll select, press the L1 button to see what his price range is. Probably not that expensive. He's down to 28K. That's fine. All right, we put him up for 25. We know the dude's garbage, and that's it. And also, you guys got to remember, EA Sports will periodically tune the game. They will tune the game up and make it so that a lot of these cards just stop playing well, and you be looking like, yo, hold on, why is this dude so garbage? But EA is already one step ahead. No pun intended about the ability. They already know what's going on, so they already figure, okay, look, these guys know that at the beginning of the year, everybody was running Trey Waynes, AJ Terrell. Eventually, these cards can't remain as good, else they will not make any, it's nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand exactly why they tune the game the way that they do it, but at the end of the day, it is very, very interesting that you guys understand exactly what is needed, okay? So when we look at Trey Waynes, he has to go. There's no other explanation about it, because we need to be able to afford other players. So this is where it comes down to, all right, that guy has to sell so that I can get the other card that I want, who is the newer flashback, who's going to give me a better opportunity to win games. So we price him at a reasonable rate, right? Based on everything else that we saw. And everything else that happens after that, we just have to wait. There's nothing else that we can do. We just wait and see what happens. And then as soon as that card sells, now you got something towards the other card. Because remember, there's no turning back. Like right now, he's down to 138. I would have loved that for this guy to just sell immediately so I can just get it. As a matter of fact, we can go into the store. I have 65 trophies. We could just go get a quick 10K right now from one of the other packs, actually. Let's go to competitive and then a midfield pack. is 10K. So we'll just grab that real quick because for some reason nobody wants trade lanes. The dude's garbage. Like I told you, you automatically know when a card is trash when it just sits there and everybody's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that dude because he sucks. That's just what it is. So now if we're lucky enough to sell this, go back, get Marcus Peters, we then get back the 24K or whatever it is afterwards, and then we figure everything else, figure everything else out later on. All right, so pretty much right here, we're gonna go back into the store. All right, we're gonna go ahead and see if we get lucky again, and grab this Marcus Peters, upgrade him, all right, put him in for the other guy that was there, and then we just move on from that. All right, okay, he's down to 134, so we got even more lucky. We grab him, grab the 89 overall call, and also remember, if you need training, these guys, that's 3,600 training right there for that price. So you guys can look to that and try to figure out what's going on, if it will help your team get better, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Like, look for these opportunities to understand MUT, because that's what's going to help you stay competitive within the game. It's not always, I know it's a lot of, monetary stuff that goes on and people are always spending money, and that's the way that people do it, but everyone doesn't always have to do it that way. Like it doesn't need to be that way. All right, so you can always figure out different ways to make things happen. It's not a big deal. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is we're going to actually, okay, that's 3, 4, and then we're gonna put this guy over here in this section. So I just recently got his power up. So what we're gonna do is this, we're going to go newest. All right, we're gonna get his power up. We're gonna put him in the game, and then we're going to power up that card and then see what's going on as far as what he's gonna be looking like. And like I said, it's automatically gonna be an upgrade simply because we know we're getting better man coverage, we're getting a better overall card. We're going from an 84 to a 90, so that should give us something different. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you guys got to keep in mind as well. These overalls and the stuff that goes into the game, it's very important to understand. Look at what you're getting from the card. So this is a real upgrade from the card that we just rage sold. So what's going to happen is if this guy doesn't perform, we already know this dude is getting raid sold, but it kind of gives us an idea of what really matters in the game, because he has a 90-man coverage, which is one of the thresholds. So he should be able to stay with these players. He shouldn't, be a situation where it's like, oh my God, what's going on? It shouldn't be like that. He should be able to stick with these players. So we're going to actually be able to see that once I get him on the field and we start to take a look at some of the things that he's doing. We'll be able to analyze that and go from there. All right, so now you guys get to see, it's a bigger upgrade. He's faster than the last card that we just had. Better man coverage, better zone, all that stuff. I think he has, better press and all that stuff too, 83. Very, very slight, but he has better press. Now, when we put him in situations where we want to get, certain things out of him, he should be able to perform in that regard. So let me go over here, because I think the slot cornerback has to be, I think we always keep the slot cornerback as Rod Woodson anyway. So that's where we'll have that. Okay, so we'll leave that with the 4-6 defense to kind of give an assessment of what's going on with that. And then now, when we look at our team, because like I said, I like to have 5 corners that are pretty good. So I got Dion, I got Rod Woodson, I got Denzel Ward, I got AJ Terrell, and I got Marcus Peters. All right, now AJ Terrell, actually, I could put, it probably would make more sense to put Marcus Peters over here. So he would be that corner that comes in the 4-6 speed package, because they use the 3rd and 4th corner. And then the 5th guy, we would probably put AJ Terrell in at the safety position, and then that would, pretty much make it easier for us to run that defense. So that works out for us. So that's what we're going to be looking forward to do. Once we get out on the field, we'll be able to figure out everything else. Who is missing something? Why is something missing here? Let me go over here and see what's happening. Why don't we have everybody with something on them? Okay, Rod Woodson, because we put him in. Also remember that as well. When you interchange players and you move them around, for some reason, EA deactivates them. So Rod Woodson had Acrobat. Because I moved him and made him a specialist, EA takes away his ability. I've actually gone into games where I didn't realize that they do that because it doesn't make sense, because I didn't move him from his natural position, but you will lose that. So pay attention to that as you move players around. They will lose their abilities, and you have to go back and go to the screen and click it like that. So, that's something that I want to give you guys some insight into. So definitely pay attention to that as you upgrade your team, as you take a look at the way that your team is progressing, and eventually you will be more formidable against opponents that have better teams, because that 91 speed and those additional attributes should be able to show on the field. So keep that in mind as you continue to go on and build your squad. All right, if there's any other questions that you guys may have, let me know. Leave it in the comment section as far as building the squad up. But I want to just make sure you guys understand, as far as the flashbacks are concerned, the prices are going to vary around what you just saw, and it is a decent amount of training based on whatever you're trying to do, because the market is going to continue to, like, these cards make the market balance out a little bit so that you're able to do more with less. So just keep your eye out on it and make sure that if there's anything else that you're really looking to do, that you plan ahead. Also, just another reminder, you need to make sure that you've done those challenges for Team of the Week. That is very, very important. Don't forget that, because I almost forgot it. I had to look in my binder to see that I forgot to do Week 3's Team of the Week. All right, guys, so check that out as well. And I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have an unbelievable day. Take care. Be well. One love, y'all.